Hi, yes. This is really fascinating for me. The conversation about and sorry, I finally did manage to get the book because my complaint or my issue always with the wonderful books that you choose, and this is such a well organized sessions that you have. I don't want to miss them. And I'm in Portugal, in Cascais, and I can never actually get the English translations. I've written many complaints or suggestions or forms for FNAC. Please get more books, translated books by Portuguese authors. So yes, so thankfully I got it. I read it very quickly. It was so engaging. I was just going through it and appreciating the way it was translated. So, Bruna, thank you. What is fascinating for me in the discussion today is you're picking up on and talking about illiteracy, and I didn't even notice it because I come from Pakistan. And so for me, I was like, okay, you know, when you say, so I was, while you were talking about how, it's 8%, and in the north, I think you said 11%. And we have a similar situation where we could have literacy rates in Islamabad and the big cities of 96%, which means that, 4% are still illiterate. Then you have the hinterland or the mountain areas or the villages where literacy is only something like 11, not even 11, 4%. So there is such a disparity between villages and the city centers. And even in the cities, we are so used to people who, who are around us, who are illiterate. And my, and relatives, not very young relatives anymore, but like much older ones back in the day, who were illiterate. So that was one thing that I didn't pick up on. But what I did pick up on, or which I did identify, you talk about floods and you talk about the fact that more illiterate people and others, and that it touched a nerve for me. What was similar was the honor killing. And okay, it's a different concept, or different context, but the concept is the same. That you have religions that preach, if you kill one person, it is as if you kill all of humanity. That is what the Quran teaches us. And then there is a patriarchal culture which interprets the religion as it wants to, permeate society with the cultural values, not necessarily the religious values, but they will take something and they will just justify whatever they do. And this is a huge problem in Pakistan. So for me, that is what really fascinated me about this book, that was something so usual, unfortunately. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that, really.
It's true. It's fairly common. No, I would just respond quick. It is fairly common, right? I mean, everywhere, of course, violence against queer people and women is very common. But you embarrassed the family, or you did something that is shameful to us, therefore we will get rid of you. Whether it is like Raimundo, who was kicked out of his home in a way, or who wasn't welcome at home, though, as he was, or whether it is like his uncle who was murdered. Yeah, it happens. It happens fairly often. In Brazil has
And
very high rate.
also the Suzani, who was beaten up for being trans. And that is something as well. We have actually a friend of mine who is brilliant, Fulbright scholar, who's a doctor and a research scientist, and is a huge advocate, trans herself, sorry, and is a huge advocate for rights. But I have to say that I am proud of my country, that when you have in Pakistan, you actually have an elected member, I think, of our government, but you also have a space in your national identity card where you can identify as trans. And that, I think, is pretty cutting edge for a lot of people, for a lot of countries. So, there is that. And also I can call myself Ms. MS and not take my husband's name, which is something I could not do in Paris. So I have to put that in.